Hey there, fellow wanderers. Tonight, we return to the blazing era of the Roman legions, where history was written in blood, steel, and discipline. You stand among the tight ranks of a cohort. The sound of metal striking metal ripples like waves, blades being sharpened, shields gripped with resolve. The sun burns at the horizon, dust rising in layered clouds, and the heat thickens the air like a forge. Ahead lies glory, but behind you is exhaustion, hunger, and the endless days of marching. This is not an action movie. This is history. And you, if you were truly a raw recruit, probably wouldn't survive the first campaign season. You'd feel the weight of armor before the first blow ever landed, and the pressure of centuries of tradition pressing down like a millstone. The enemy isn't just the barbarian beyond the hill, it's the thirst, the blisters, the fear that creeps in before dawn. The Legion demands everything, and gives back only one thing in return. A place in the record of empire, etched in the shadow of the Eagle Standard. This is the raw edge of the ancient world. If stories this rough and epic still deserve to be told, like, subscribe, and tell me where and when you're watching from. Every hour, every place, someone, somewhere, wants to know what it took to hold the line. Now turn off the lights, turn on the fan, let the wind blur into the footsteps of thousands of warriors. Let's begin. As you stand here on the brink of history, the crackling tension of ancient battlefields seems almost palpable. The Roman soldier, like you at this moment, faced the challenge of adapting to an existence that balanced on a knife's edge. First, you must understand that becoming a Roman soldier meant embracing an entirely new way of life. Imagine waking up every day, not in the comfort of your home, but in the barracks or an open encampment, surrounded by other soldiers, all bracing for the rigors of the day ahead. The Roman army wasn't just a group of individuals. It was a meticulously synchronized entity. You would learn to think as part of a collective, moving in unison like a well-oiled machine. From training fields echoing with the shouts of commanders to battlefield formations, efficiency and organization were paramount. This isn't just a bunch of guys with pointy sticks. It's a disciplined force honed by necessity and tradition. Your daily life would involve a rigid routine, the kind where spontaneity takes a backseat to duty. As the sun glints off your helmet, you'll begin by checking your equipment, a ritual as critical as a morning cup of coffee in our modern lives. The state of your gear directly correlates to your chances of survival, so you won't want to skip this. Missing a buckle or nicking a sword could be the difference between glory and an untimely end. Meals were not exactly gourmet feasts, but they fueled the unstoppable Roman machine. Bread, wine, and occasionally meat formed the backbone of the military diet, enough to keep you on your feet but rarely excite the taste buds. Imagine the grim determination of tearing into a hard biscuit that might double as a projectile. But desperate times call for extraordinary measures. Sometimes, stealing a taste of local delicacies can feel like a clandestine victory, a moment of culinary rebellion amid the disciplined din. While exhaustion and uncertainty could often cloud the mind, the social hierarchy within the Legion provided a scaffolding of order. You would find yourself respecting higher-ups not only for their rank, but for the knowledge and experience they carried. Officers often bore scars like badges of honor, narratives etched into flesh. These leaders would guide you, not always with a gentle hand, through battles, maneuvers, and the maddening ennui of waiting. Perhaps what will strike you most about this life is the blend of fear and camaraderie. There's a particular resonance in knowing you're part of something much larger than yourself. The shared trials and tribulations forge bonds stronger than the iron of which your weapons are made. Night watches filled with quiet conversations, humorous banter about the day's events, or debates about the best centurion in the empire become the glue that holds your legion together. The daily reality of serving as a Roman soldier also involved mental resilience as much as physical strength. You never knew when today's routine might turn into tomorrow's combat. Such unpredictability keeps your senses sharpened like the sword at your hip. This unpredictability could alternately be your enemy or your unexpected ally, depending on the day. But let's not forget the practical matters of soldiering life. Even in the ancient world, bureaucracy found its place. Payment was an important concern. Soldiers received irregular wages, which sometimes necessitated improvising skills like barter or calligraphy for a side hustle. Of course, alongside this existed the lure and promise of riches from conquests. Nevertheless, the bigger payoff often lay in the form of spoils or land grants upon retirement, alluring enough to make soldiers endure through harsh campaigns. All these glimpses into the life of a Roman soldier only scratch the surface of their reality, a reality rich in both reward and challenge. As we delve deeper into the world these soldiers inhabited, it becomes apparent that survival was a complex dance of strategy, courage, and a fair dose of fortune. Imagine ending your day beneath a sprawling sky as you pull your cloak tighter against the chill, your mind swirling as much with dreams of tomorrow's battles as with thoughts of home. In this strange blend of vigilance and routine, the rhythm of life marches on, a testament to human resilience and the indomitable spirit of these ancient warriors. As the night deepens around, you can almost hear the whisper of history weaving its silent stories through the cool breeze. A reminder of the ancient lives that roamed the lands long before us. As the whispers of history continue to weave through the silence, let's begin to explore the crucial first step of any Roman soldier's journey: enlistment and training. Imagine being a young man in the vast Roman Empire, dreaming of glory or simply a means to rise beyond your current station. Recruitment adverts or vigiles, armed with promises of steady pay and the chance for personal advancement, beckon young men into the folds of the military. Visualize standing in line, shoulder to shoulder with hopeful recruits in a bustling forum. Tapestries and statues stand as silent witnesses to your determination and apprehension. Your mind races with questions about your future, yet woven through the anticipation is genuine excitement about what lies ahead. The armed forces offer both stability and adventure, a double-edged sword of opportunity that gleams as brightly as the armor that might someday be yours. Once accepted, you'll find that the training of a Roman soldier is an art form in brutal efficiency. It's shaped by generations of honed technique and the harsh realities of constant warfare. Training begins with the fundamentals, learning to march in formation, wield a sword, and carry a shield. Imagine the weight of the scutum, the large rectangular shield that becomes an extension of your body. It's not just your protection, but also a vital part of legionary tactics. From dawn till dusk, you run drills under the unforgiving gaze of seasoned centurions. You quickly discover that discipline is more essential than brute strength. Training weapons heavier than those used in battle develop your muscle memory and endurance. Feel the leaden thud of each thrust and strike as your muscles burn and your hands grow calloused. Every drill etches new skills into your body, preparing you for the unpredictable storms of combat. Beyond physical training, recruits enter the realm of tactics. Underneath the harsh sun, you learn the intricacies of Roman formations, the testudo or tortoise formation, and the quick, adaptable manipular system. The cohesion between you and your fellow soldiers becomes crucial, a ballet of shields and swords. Now, instead of an individual, you feel like a component in a military machine that is powerful and precise. Yet, even as you absorb these mechanical aspects, there's a narrative at play beyond the drills and formations. Young recruits often find themselves drawn into the stories and experiences of veterans. These seasoned soldiers paint vivid pictures of past battles, victories, and the camaraderie that binds legionaries for life. Listening to tales of conquest from Germania to the scorching sands of Africa, you glean insights not captured in training routines. Training also imbues a deep sense of loyalty to Rome and to the legion. Through oaths sworn to the eagle standards that symbolize Roman power, you commit yourself to the empire. The standard is more than just a symbol. It is a beacon of honor and identity. Your allegiance is woven into the very fabric of your training, as ironclad as the armor that shields you. Historically, not all soldiers trained under the same conditions. Historians still argue whether select units, like the Praetorian Guard, enjoyed more lenient training, or if elite status brought greater expectations and rigors. Some sources suggest training varied across regions due to local customs and resources, yet the core principles of Roman discipline remained unshaken. Unusual training practices occasionally pepper this otherwise regimented routine. Reports exist of running exercises with full armor, or even mock battles featuring wooden swords to minimize injury. One quirky aspect involved the use of pigs' bladders for practice, honing soldiers' striking precision with an element of fun, a light-hearted antidote to the relentless discipline. The culmination of training involves an initiation of sorts, a first skirmish or battle, that bloods the new recruits. The transformation from civilian to soldier becomes complete, leaving behind the unease and adopting a more hardened resolve. Surrounded by grizzled veterans, you find your place in the Legion. There's laughter and rivalry, but more importantly, there's a shared journey that bonds you with those around you. As twilight falls, you're left with the faint ache of exertion and the quiet echo of training grounds. Greco-Roman vitality and discipline meld within you, and the promise of both glory and survival flicker brightly against the gathering night. Tonight, with a deeper understanding of your new role, you'll drift into dreams of formations and unknown battles yet to come. A future paved with grit, loyalty, and the hope that the symbols you bear will be held high through whatever trials may lie ahead. The momentum of your training days carries you swiftly into the heart of Legion life, where daily routines and duties swiftly become the core of your existence. From the moment dawn's first light creeps over the horizon, the tempo of life in the camp is brisk, and the clang of armor and shouts of officers are your not-so-gentle alarm clock. Imagine beginning your day by aligning with fellow soldiers for a morning muster. The process is meticulous, a roll call under the watchful eyes of your centurions. Attendance is not merely counted, it's a chance to assess the readiness and morale of the men. Here, the hierarchy is palpable. The centurions, with their vine-stick batons, maintain order and discipline. Without hesitation, everyone knows where they stand in the pecking order. Inspections follow, with armor and weaponry receiving a thorough check. Every soldier knows the tediousness of maintaining gear, polishing metal, testing edges, and ensuring shields are battle-ready. It's a routine perhaps akin to checking your smartphone before bed, only a tad more consequential if ignored. Life in the camp revolves around a tightly woven schedule punctuated by drills and duties. Tasks range from guard duty and patrolling the camp's perimeter to more mundane chores like cleaning and mending. Each soldier rotates through these, a well-practiced dance ensuring every man shoulders his part of the burden. In these duties, you'll often find an unexpected camaraderie blooming. As you stand watch in the chill of a pre-dawn breeze, sharing jokes with a fellow guard, it's easy to see why Brotherhood forms so quickly. The shared struggle against boredom and adversity bonds you in ways nothing else can. Even as your humour might veer towards gallows style, tougher than a legionary's callous, a centurion's patience, such jokes lighten the heaviness of routine life. Meals punctuate the day's rhythm and offer a brief respite. Imagine sitting with your comrades around a humble fire, breaking bread, or rather hard biscuits, and sipping watered wine. This is where anecdotes and stories unfold. Snippets of distant towns, odd finds during scouting, or the quirks of officers. Nutrition is utilitarian, yet sometimes local spoils add flavour. Think olives in Greece or figs in North Africa, occasionally bringing a touch of variety to otherwise monotonous fare. Once meal breaks give way, the day proceeds with more specialised activities. Occasionally you may find yourself building or repairing fortifications, a task shared by the entire Legion. While back-breaking, this labour reinforces the camp's security and cultivates a sense of ownership. The walls you erect are more than simple defences, they become a part of your daily life and duty. Historians still argue whether downtime within the camp fostered a more scholarly environment among soldiers than once believed. Rumours persist of soldiers penning letters, sharing poetry, or debating philosophy, seeding a small flowering of culture amidst martial strictness. Of course, such debates would have to fit between the more immediate concerns of staying battle-ready and restless nights spent wondering what the next day might demand. Evening falls with the sound of jubilant trumpet signals, a melody indicating the change of watch, or perhaps heralding the return of a scouting party. As darkness creeps in, a sense of solemnity overshadows the camp. Lighting fires is limited to maintain stealth, and shadows are long under the moon's gaze. With the close of day comes contemplation, the time when leaders brief their men on any new orders or impending action. These discussions often remain brief, for the need to strike balance between information and discipline remains strong. You listen intently, both eager for news and mindful of all that's been drummed into you. The Legion moves as one, each part essential but never alone. It's in these closing hours that you might find yourself reflecting on the day's lessons. In this existence, each routine task carries with it an underlying purpose, preparation for the unforeseen challenges of life in the Roman army. As weariness settles into your bones and the myriad sounds of the camp fade into a gentle nighttime hum, you're comforted by the constant rhythm of camp life, knowing the framework of daily duties keeps chaos at bay, readying you and your comrades for whatever dawn may bring. Tonight, beneath a blanket of stars, you'll allow yourself to drift off, soothed by the rhythmic chorus of your fellow soldiers' steady breathing, knowing that within this web of duty and routine, you've found a sense of place and purpose, your small part in the vast expanse of the Roman military machine. As the comforting routines of daily life march on, our focus naturally gravitates toward what keeps the Roman soldier going day after day, their diet and nutrition. Fueling the legion's formidable energy and stamina wasn't merely feeding, but a strategic endeavor designed to maintain the relentless pace of military campaigns across diverse terrains. Imagine waking up to a new day in the heart of the camp, greeted by the familiar, earthy aroma of bread baking. This bread, a staple for any Roman soldier, was known as panis militaris. While rustic by modern standards, it was hearty and filling enough to provide the necessary calories for the day's exertions. Eating it involves a workout of its own, as it was often dense and required substantial chewing. You might dip it in wine, diluted of course, to soften it up, a small pleasure in the demanding life of a legionary. The Roman military diet was ingeniously simple, balanced between necessity and practicality. Grains formed the backbone, from bread to porridge, fortified by whatever local produce or meat could be scavenged or traded from the surrounding areas. Grain supplies were of such importance that securing and distributing them became a logistical challenge, managed with the precision of a military operation. No Roman legion could march on an empty stomach, and the empire's survival often hinged on their soldiers' ability to procure and sustain their vital food stores. To supplement this starchy foundation, soldiers turned to the land, adapting to whatever food sources were available. In greener regions, fresh greens and vegetables like cabbage or turnips created essential variety. Further afield, in territories less kind to agriculture, soldiers relied more heavily on preserved foods such as olives and dried fruits. This is where the soldier's dietary practice gave rise to the phrase, "an army marches on its stomach," immortalizing the crucial role of sustenance in any military campaign. Proteins came primarily from legumes, fish, and occasional meat when the opportunity arose. Fishing or hunting during downtime was not just encouraged, but sometimes vital. You can picture your fellow legionaries casting nets into cool streams, or scanning forest edges for game, a necessary, albeit sometimes distracting task from their regular duties. Nutritional needs didn't only focus on regular meals. On the march or in battle, food had to be portable and readily available. Enter the ingeniously simple yet innovative centuries-old prototype of the energy bar, made from a paste of dried fruit, nuts and grains. These portable rations, much like the military biscuits, could sustain a soldier through the dreariest of campaigns. The importance of these carefully managed diets cannot be overstated. Food wasn't just a source of energy, but also morale. The predictability and comfort of a decent meal provided psychological resilience, as critical in fending off despair as it was in keeping the body strong. Remember the sense of triumph in scoring that extra handful of dates or a freshly caught fish. It's akin to the victory of securing a favourite comfort food on a particularly tough day, prickless to mind and spirit. In the winding annals of archaeological discoveries and historical texts, there's debate regarding the variety and richness of Roman military fare compared to their civilian counterparts. Some scholars propose the army's diet was arguably more generous, given the necessity of maintaining robust health far from imperial supply lines and the possibility of procuring local delicacies. Others argue the opposite, suggesting that while their diet was designed to maintain energy, it lacked the indulgences a civilian might enjoy. A quirky historical tidbit reveals that wine wasn't just an indulgence, but sanctioned for health reasons. Raw water sources tended to harbour illnesses, so wine mixed with water to cut bacteria was a practical staple rather than a recreational choice. This kind of strategic indulgence reminds us that practicality sometimes dresses up as pleasure, much like turning hydration into a campfire social moment today. As evening descends over the camp once more, fires crackle with renewed vigour. You glance around at your fellow soldiers, sharing tales, meals, or perhaps discussing the next day's manoeuvres over a shared loaf of bread and cup of wine. Tonight, each bite of that humble bread, each mouthful of stew reinforces your readiness for another day. each meal, an unbroken thread running through the rich tapestry of legionary life. Allow warmth and satiety to burrow into your bones as you stretch one last time before sleep sets in. Bowed beneath the stars, the echo of crickets lulls the camp into stillness. Full and content, you close your eyes with the knowledge that come a new dawn, you'll rise ready-body and spirit-nourished and prepared for whatever awaits in the ever-unfolding story of your campaign. As dawn breaks over the camp and the familiar chatter of morning routines begins anew, we turn our attention to the often overlooked but vital aspects of Roman soldier life: health and hygiene. Maintaining a semblance of cleanliness and well-being in the midst of dusty marches and crowded camps was as much a testament to Roman ingenuity as their famed military prowess. Imagine you're a Roman soldier fresh out of your bedroll, the cool morning air invigorating while the sun stretches across the horizon. The first order of business is hygiene, an essential routine that was surprisingly sophisticated for the time. Personal cleanliness isn't just a preference, it's a necessity to prevent disease and infection in the close quarters shared with fellow legionaries. Begin by picturing a Roman camp, not just a hub of military strategy, but a temporary city of strict order and efficiency. Every camp had designated latrines and washing areas. The Romans, meticulous as ever, understood the importance of sanitation. Latrines were strategically placed away from living areas, with soldiers tasked to dig fresh pits for waste disposal regularly. A logistical job as important as the morning march. For bathing, cold water from nearby streams or rivers was the norm, though some camps employed makeshift heated baths. Imagine the invigorating splash of cold water on your face, the shock awakening your senses. While it lacked the comforts of a Roman bathhouse, this routine kept basic hygiene in check. Soap, made from animal fat and ashes, helped scrub dirt and sweat away, although it wasn't exactly a luxury spa treatment. In an odd historical twist, some evidence suggests that soldiers used aromatic herbs, or even the concoction of crocodile dung mixed with their oil, as a primitive sunscreen, a curious but potentially effective way to shield against the sun's relentless glare. Health went beyond daily washing. First aid knowledge was a necessity in the field, with certain soldiers trained explicitly as medici, or medics. Every legion had these vital personnel, often civilian doctors or experienced soldiers who picked up skills over years of service. These medics carried pouches stocked with primitive but functional medical kits. Think scalpels, bandages, and even primitive forceps. When injuries occurred, these medics were the first line of care. A deep cut could be cleaned with vinegar, a common antiseptic obtained readily from wine, and a combination of honey and herbs formed a paste to dress wounds. Practical and surprisingly effective. Fractures might be set and splinted using makeshift materials, and battlefield surgeries, though perilous and crude, were sometimes the only option. Nutrition is intertwined with health, and surprisingly the Roman diet was quite sound, designed not just for energy but for durability and recovery. They understood the concept of balance, with vitamins from fruits, proteins from legumes and meats, and energy from grains all contributing to strong bodies capable of enduring the strains of military life. In this context, there's an ongoing scholarly debate about the role of preventive medicine in the Roman army. Some historians argue that hygiene measures were intuitive at best and adventitious, while others propose that soldiers were strictly educated in basic sanitation and health practices throughout their service. Regardless of which side you lean toward, what is evident is that the empire's ability to sustain long campaigns relied heavily on keeping its soldiers fit, healthy, and ready to march at a moment's notice. Periodic rest and recuperation were also integral to maintaining vigor. Rotations through easier duties or brief periods of rest allowed injured or fatigued soldiers to recover, a necessary strategy to keep the legion at peak performance. During these times, soldiers might spend more energy on maintaining equipment, or hear rumors from the camp followers, gathering intel as much as gossip. Imagine life slowing down during these periods of recovery. Games played with dice or stones, quiet conversations under the stars, and time to simply soak aching feet in cool streams, easing the burdens of the relentless cycle of training and combat. The camaraderie forged in these moments was as healing as any salve applied to a wound. As you prepare to conclude another day, perhaps basked in the calming glow of a campfire, consider the reality of life as a Roman soldier. You fought battles not just of swords and shields, but of body and spirit. Your health and vitality, sustained by routine and care, became the foundation upon which the vast Roman Empire stood. Sleep finds you once more, lulled by the crackle of flames and the quiet pride in knowing that, thanks to rigorous hygiene, clever remedies and sheer resilience, you are ready to face another day. As a new sun rises over the Legion camp, casting its light on the industrious life within, we turn our focus to the armour and weaponry that define the Roman soldier. Imagine standing in the early morning haze, donning the gear that transforms you from an individual into a formidable piece of Rome's military might. Let's start with the helmet, or gallia, cradling your head in a snug yet protective embrace. Crafted from sturdy bronze or iron and often adorned with distinctive crests, a helmet will shield your skull from blows without compromising your ability to see and hear the commands shouted by your fellow soldiers. Each morning you inspect it closely, ensuring the straps remain secure and free from wear. Next, there's the body armour, the lorica segmentata, a defining piece of a legionary's gear. You might wear it like a second skin, its interlocking metal plates articulating with your movements. The brilliance of this armour lies in its flexibility, offering comprehensive protection while allowing for the freedom necessary in the thick of battle. The slight clinking noise of metal plates moving in unison becomes a familiar background track to your daily life, a comforting reminder of your readiness. Caring for this armour demands diligence. Each component needs regular maintenance to prevent rust and ensure functionality. Consider the rhythmic routine of rubbing oil into the metal until it gleams, the act itself almost meditative in its repetition. Such vigilance isn't optional. Worn hinges or weakened joints could mean the difference between life and death amidst a frenzied combat. Fastened to your side is the gladius, a short sword designed for close-quarter fighting. In the chaos of battle, a lengthy swing could be risky, and the gladius embodies the Roman preference for efficiency over flash. Sharp and stout, it's an extension of your arm, demanding regular honing until its edge could slice through leather with minimal resistance. On exercises, the feel of the gladius against your hip becomes as natural as an extension of your own being. Wielding it during drills, you perfect the powerful thrust that typifies Roman combat strategy. Each practice, each swing, embeds further in your muscle memory, reinforcing the dance of defense and attack. Equally critical is the scutum, the curved rectangular shield that defines the silhouette of the legionary. Large enough to cover the body and strong enough to stop enemy arrows and thrusts, the scutum is your steadfast partner. During battles, you fight not just with it, but through it, using it as a backdrop for delivering calculated offense, forming the iconic testudo formation. Maintaining your scutum demands attention to both its wooden frame and leather-covered face. Not just a static piece, it tells its own story. The nicks and scars collected in past engagements remind you of its role and reinforce your connection to every warrior who wielded it before you. Historians still argue whether the Roman army's superiority came more from their tactics or the quality of their equipment. Debate aside, it's undeniable that the Roman military kit was ingeniously designed to balance protection, maneuverability, and durability, contributing to their renowned supremacy on the battlefield. Lesser appreciated yet invaluable pieces include the pilum, a heavy javelin with a pyramidal head intended to pierce and disable enemy shields. Before charges, or during the initial battle stages, you would launch pilums in synchronized volleys, unsettling enemy ranks and sowing chaos. Despite their disposable nature, forged from iron and wood, pilums were the first whispers of afraided enemy formations. A quirky yet pragmatic feature of the pilum was its loosely attached head. Upon impact it bent, rendering enemy shields cumbersome, and preventing them from throwing these weapons back, a testament to Roman strategic ingenuity. Even your sandals, or calloused, tailored from strapped leather and hobnailed for traction, represent a clever synergy of comfort and performance, helping you traverse long distances comfortably while marching. As twilight gathers and glinting steel succumbs to the shadowed dim, you're left to muse on how seamlessly your gear integrates with your identity as a soldier. Your armour and weapons are the literature through which Rome writes its indelible saga on history's parchment, and as you rest, your equipment stowed securely nearby, there's solace in knowing it will be faithfully ready for tomorrow's trials. Tonight, surrounded by the familiar creaks of leather and metal, you sink into a restful slumber, dreams painted with images of past glories and the echo of ceaselessly marching feet, ensuring that you and Rome persist through the ages. With the dawn once more illuminating the bustling camp, we find ourselves immersed in the rhythmic cadence of the Roman soldiers' daily grind, marching and maneuvers. Picture the buzz of anticipation and discipline as the entire legion prepares to mobilize. Each morning, the air is filled with the sounds of packing, the shuffle of feet, and the unmistakable clatter of armor and weapons being secured for the day's journey. The Roman legion's ability to move efficiently, sometimes covering over 20 miles in a day, speaks volumes of their masterful organization and relentless training routine. As you shoulder your pack and fall into formation, the reality of marching under the Roman banner becomes palpable. A column of soldiers stretches along the camp's edge, disciplined lines moving as if tethered by one cohesive thread. Marching isn't just about getting from one place to another. It is a display of Roman military power. As you trudge along, every step resonates with the empire's weight. The land beneath your feet witnesses as the physical manifestation of Roman supremacy unfolds across its surface. Your boots grip the earth, a tangible link between each soldier and the vast territorial expanse they protect and expand. Though the purpose is clear, the journey itself demands endurance. Terrain varies, from the sun-bleached roads of the Mediterranean to the thick, impenetrable forests of Germania. Each presents unique challenges: the punishing heat that threatens to drain the toughest bodies, or the slippery uncertainty of muddy paths. A quirky tradition within the ranks involves the creation of marching songs, rousing tunes meant to keep spirits high and feet in sync. While some are straightforward rhythms, others tell tales of past victories or nods to local culture, adapting to the regions traversed. It brings levity to otherwise weary muscles and marks time along distant roads. The genius of Roman maneuvers lies in their adaptability. On open terrain, you'd experience the well-rehearsed art of changing formations. The legion moves like a symphony, sharp commands initiating polished transitions from open marching columns to compact battle lines or defensive squares. Each move tailors to immediate needs. The agmen, a marching column, shifts effortlessly into a testudo at the sign of an ambush. To the observer, it's like water flowing from a river to a pool, showing the adaptability hallmark of Roman strategy. Every stride, every formation change becomes muscle memory, until pivoting from drill to imminent battle seems second nature. Maintaining speed and cohesion depends on efficient logistics. Supply wagons and pack animals follow the legion, carrying tents, rations, and vital equipment. These elements fall into neat place, ensuring that by nightfall, a temporary Roman city stands, tents pitched, fires lit, and a protective ditch dug in relentless repetition. The unwavering discipline isn't just for show, it's survival. Timely construction of fortifications shelters you from surprise attacks and adverse weather. As you set up camp, every soldier knows their task, each activity piecing together the daily puzzle of Roman military life. When the camp is safely established, you're once again astounded by how this army embodies both conqueror and caretaker. Historians ponder whether the adaptable Roman marching techniques allowed better fatigue management compared to enemy forces, debating if this psychological edge contributed more to victories than sheer numbers. Nonetheless, this logistical planning remains a model of efficiency, studied by military minds throughout the ages. Marching is not without its tales of adversity. A soldier's boots wear thin, the grind of grit between leather and skin a persistent adversary. Blisters and sore feet are recounted as personal battles, fought over rough terrain, and whispers tell of legendary soldiers who toughed out entire campaigns with nary a complaint, their resilience a lesson for all. In this web of movement and rigours, a seasoned soldier learns to pace themselves, conserve strength for the unpredictable, ever prepared for the next command or shift. And as you step in time with your comrades, the rhythm of your march melds with the rhythm of life in eternal cycle, preparing for what promise or peril lies beyond each hill crest. As shadows stretch across the landscape and the furnace of the day cools, you find solace in familiar routines. The thud of posts being sunk for defensive structures signals the day's nearing end. Soon, fires flicker to life amid tents, weariness tempered by the camaraderie forged on the march. Nestled within the encampments, there is peace in knowing that the shared journey bonds you deeply to your fellow soldiers. Under an ancient sky, you allow heavy lids to close. The familiar lull of distant conversations and crackling fires lulling you to sleep. Readied again to march forth on the morrow, embracing another day in the legion's unyielding path. As the legion settles into its temporary home, the camp's transformation reveals the precision and foresight that hallmark the Roman military as we explore their fortifications and camps. Imagine the comforting sight of a well-ordered camp spreading out before you, a testament to efficient cooperation and strategic genius. Picture the scene: a landscape dominated by a Roman encampment, a mini-city pulsating with order and preparation. Every soldier is engaged in the synchronized dance of construction, creating a fortress from raw land each night. This particular rhythm underscores the empire's strength, where no matter how far the distance from Rome, each camp reverberates with the city's disciplined heartbeat. Building a camp begins with measurements. Every step is calculated to ensure precision. Constructed in a standardized layout regardless of location, a grid system recalling the streets of Rome, the castra, or camp, is an embodiment of Roman order, with tents arranged meticulously in neat lines, separated by well-maintained roads. The perfect symmetry soothes the sight, fostering a reassuring familiarity despite foreign surroundings. Temporary fortifications are constructed swiftly, yet every inch prioritizes defense. Defensive ditches are dug surrounding the camp, a perimeter marked by earthen walls constructed from the trudged-up soil. Atop these, the palisades rise, wooden stakes driving into the earth as stoic sentinels against intruders. Work furthers with the inner sanctum, the commander's tent and headquarters set prominently at the camp's center, acting both as a focal point for military command and a psychological anchor. Around it, smaller paths link together important functions, like the food storage area, blacksmiths for weapons maintenance, and even spaces dedicated to prayer or gathering. Essential structures like the barracks or hospital tents, the once humble domus, are erected with efficiency honed by necessity, often borrowed and adapted from local materials available. Within the walls, a mesh of tents springs to life. Each is home to a contubernum, a group of 8 soldiers who eat and sleep together, forging bonds that strengthen camaraderie through every campaign. These shared quarters mean shared duties and watchkeeping, reinforcing the sense of brotherhood critical to the legion's spirit. Historians still argue over the exact duration these camps were maintained when not on the move. Some suggest regular shifts every few nights, to preemptively avoid becoming easy targets. Others argue the structure afforded periods of stationary operations, acting as forward bases, consolidating Roman control in hostile territories. Unpredictabilities like weather might dictate deviations. The soft click of rain on canvas or the fury of sandstorms in arid lands might prevent swift travel, forcing adjustments to the pacing of construction or ingenuity in stabilization. A builder in their own right. While efficiency and military architecture dominate, whispers of creativity endure. Fortified camps might feature hints of personal expression, engraved messages on tent posts, little charms dangling from spears, or the odd dice game tucked into a corner. Tales speak of soldiers crafting personal shrines, invoking protections from deities, a blending of personal faith and martial duty. As day gives way to twilight, the camp begins its nightly activities. Torches are lit carefully, bathing the orderly structures in a soft glow as conversations punctuate the evening air. A warm pull of camaraderie in the lull of twilight shrouds tents. Staves of familiarity mingle with anticipation, a nod to past encounters and unknown horizons ahead. Tonight, fires furnish warmth and light by which soldiers gather to share stories and strategies, or simply seek solace amidst the soft murmur of weaving tales. The camp, once bustling with the activity of construction, now hums with quieter life, every string in this web tied with taut precision. And so, as the night casts its serene cloak across this temporary but formidable fortress, you take to your rest, comforted by the knowledge that behind those carefully crafted defences is a bastion of humanity, forged from shared ambition and steely resolve. Enfolded in the camp's comforting embrace, you allow the stars above to punctuate your sleep's ascent dreams, bound in chains of history and hope, meshed with the lives interwoven through Rome's endless march across ages. As the dawn breaks over the well-organized expanse of the Roman camp, the soldiers rise, knowing that today will demand not just their discipline, but the full spectrum of Roman battle strategies and formations. A palpable tension grips the camp, the anticipation of facing an unknown adversary, underpinned by the assurance of well-practiced maneuvers. As a Roman soldier, you're trained rigorously in every aspect of battle strategy, from individual techniques to grand tactical schemes. Picture yourself moving in sync with your comrades, embodying a unit system refined by centuries of conflict and adaptation. This isn't just war, it's choreography on a grand scale, where discipline meets innovation. The heart of Roman strategy lies in formations that adapt to evolving scenarios. One of the most iconic is the testudo, or turtle formation, a defensive posture where soldiers interlock their large rectangular shields overhead and at the sides to form a protective shell. As one shield slides snugly into place beside another, you feel the solid unity of the formation, a fortified mobile bunker braving barrages of arrows or stones. Then, there's the quincunx, an open arrangement, allowing for flexibility. Rectangles of soldiers, staggered like the pips on dice, adapt seamlessly, transitioning between defensive stances and aggressive provocations. The formation grants space for pylons to fly and swords to thrust, shifting with the fluidity of water, confounding the enemy. Through intricate drills, soldiers master these moves, reacting instinctively to signals from centurions. Amid the shouting and chaos of battle, these calls steer the legion, a testimony to Rome's emphasis on training and loyalty. Each move needs absolute trust in one another. When a shield falters, the line falters too. The Roman cavalry plays a crucial complementary role here, offering speed and mobility. Typically positioned at the wings or rear, they sweep forward during engagements or pursue enemies in retreat. An element of unpredictability and intimidation, the cavalry's flexibility further complicates adversary calculations. Your opponents might deploy various strategies, prompting you to shift tactics in response. Is it the robust charges of the Gauls, or the elusive discipline of Parthian horse archers that await? Your commanders must weigh the field's conditions and anticipate enemy movements, balancing aggression with caution. Each decision reflecting centuries of amassed tactical wisdom. Historians still argue about whether Rome's success was due more to adaptable formations or sheer persistence and numbers, a debate fueled by accounts of times when discipline overcame fate and others when overwhelming force claimed victory. Nonetheless, Roman adaptability to incorporate conquered ideas played no small part in evolving strategies. In your ear lingers the echo of origins, a reminder that Roman strategies borrow from history, tactics adapted from Greek phalanxes, or insights gleaned from encounters with foreign armies. It's an ever-evolving dance, the synchronicity maintained even amidst chaos, a direct legacy of past generations. And what of individual heroism within this orchestrated march? While legion's success springs from collective strength, moments arise when personal valor enlivens the battle, a soldier breaking formation at just the right time to seize an opportunity, or an improvisational block subverting an unexpected strike. Such tales are retold in quiet circles, immortalized in the legends of Rome. Once the cry, "Signifer," rings through the rising chaos of battle, signaling either a strategic advance or fall back. You instinctively move. Trust in your training, trust in your armor, trust in your fellow soldiers, every step and strike a testament to the exhaustive preparation you underwent. Inside these controlled collisions are the seeds sown for Roman victories that echo through the ages. As the sun descends, the battle settles, a symphony of tactics creating a crescendo played out on fields painted with history's brush. The weary legion consolidates, reflections of formations danced in battle, overlaid with shadows from tents as evening drapes its solemn blanket. You've witnessed firsthand how strategy woven amid tensions and shields forged beneath the relentless sun steers Rome's indomitable advance. In the quiet aftermath beneath a darkening canvas, sprinkled with starlight, camaraderie soothes bruised bodies and battle-weary minds. Rest comes gently, as you lie wrapped in the knowledge that Rome's triumphs rely as much on your vigilance and strategy as on the gods' whims. Each soldier an inseparable stitch in the rich tapestry of Roman conquest. As a new day dawns and you prepare for the duties ahead, the role of pioneers and engineers within the Roman ranks becomes a focal point. These specialists, often unsung yet indispensable, are the masterminds behind the intricate infrastructure that powers the Roman military machine. Their contributions range from constructing durable roads to crafting siege engines capable of turning the tide in critical battles. Imagine the air filled with the sounds of hammers striking metal, saws cutting through wood, and the rhythmic shouts of laborers working in unison. The engineers, or Fabbri, encompass a diverse range of talents. From blacksmiths and carpenters to surveyors and architects, these men ensure that the machinery of war runs smoothly and efficiently. One of their critical tasks is the construction and maintenance of roads, the lifelines of the empire. As you march along these expertly laid paths, consider the wooden stakes and crushed stone beneath your feet, painstakingly arranged into this solid thoroughfare. Roman roads epitomize durability and efficiency, designed to withstand the ceaseless tramp of legionaries' sandals. They extend like veins through the empire, facilitating trade, communication, and troop movements with unparalleled speed. Then there are the siege engines, the marvels of Roman engineering primed to breach the seemingly impregnable defenses of enemy fortresses. Picture constructing a catapult, its frame a symphony of tension and power ready to unleash havoc. Ropes wound with taut precision, counterweights calibrated to perfection. A single engineer could change the course of a siege by creating a machine that flings massive stones with replicable force. The sound of these devices being built resonates like a promise of Roman ingenuity crossing limits. The ballista, another staple of Roman siege warfare, requires meticulous attention to detail. This torsion-powered machine propels heavy bolts at incredible speeds, terrorizing defenses. Standing by during a siege, your admiration for the engineer's expertise grows. Each bolt loosed represents their hours of crafting, testing, and perfecting, culminating in a precise blend of science and warfare. Historians continue to debate over whether the true secret of Roman success in engineering lay in their original innovations or their exceptional ability to absorb and refine technological advances from the cultures they encountered. The consensus is that this adaptability, combined with disciplined execution, forged an empire that could overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles. In quieter moments, the role of the sappers comes to light, tasked with undermining fortifications or constructing protective earthworks. Imagine the nerve it takes to dig tunnels beneath enemy walls, risking detection and sabotage. This was warfare against unseen foes. Beneath the protective cover of nightfall, men toiling in the hidden dark to prepare for a daylight breakthrough. Yet the work of these industrious engineers doesn't stop at the battlefield. Within the camp, their skills extend to practical aspects of daily life, from fashioning reliable water storage to building defenses capable of repelling night raids. Every task melds necessity with innovation. There's a quirky edge to this historical tapestry-like wooden tallies used to ensure precision in assembly, or the north-pointing chicken bones reportedly used for divination in construction decisions, blending Roman pragmatism with superstition. And through all these exploits, ingenuity becomes an extension of loyalty. Engineers and pioneers offer more than just structures. They provide the means by which Rome stretches its reach across lands unknown, imprinting each conquest with their expansive road networks and warrens of fortifications. As the day arches towards dusk, bringing gentle relief from toil, you absorb the hum of the camp's industrious spirit. The camp emerges transformed, much like your understanding of what propels the Roman engine of war. Pioneers and engineers may labor in the background, but their creations stand bold in the light of day. Dream tonight of these masters of innovation, their legacy as monumental as any generals, crafting the stages where Rome asserts its indelible command over the ancient world. As stars punctuate the heavens once more, your contented exhaustion gives way to restful slumber, secure in the knowledge that wherever you march, Roman ingenuity marches beside you, an undeniable force sculpting victories from the very bedrock of empires. As dawn unfurls its gentle glow over the Roman camp, the spotlight gradually shifts to the essential yet often understated roles of non-combatant personnel and support staff within the legion. These roles, though far removed from the clamour of the battlefield, are crucial threads woven into the tapestry of the Roman military machine, sustaining the legion through endless campaigns and ensuring its operational efficiency. Imagine the camp bustling with activity, but instead of soldiers readying their weapons, focus now on a different set of tasks. Picture the legion's medics, or medici, as they carefully inventory medicinal supplies within the makeshift infirmaries, ensuring that salves and bandages are within arm's reach for when the wounded are carried in from the field. The medici, often selected for their knowledge of herbs and rudimentary surgical skills, are a vital lifeline. In a world devoid of modern pharmaceuticals, they rely on traditional cures, knowledge handed down through the ages, for which there's perhaps a tincture of gladiolus root for infections, or a resin plaster to staunch bleeding. Such remedies are whispered to hold secrets far older than the legions themselves. As you walk further through the camp, take note of the immunes, soldiers who have gained exemption from primary combat duties by virtue of their specialized skills. Among them, you find blacksmiths hammering away at anvils, each clang of metal a testament to their craftsmanship. It is through their hands that broken weapons are renewed, armor strengthened, and the tools of war maintained. Equally critical are the scribes and accounting clerks who manage military records and logistics. Their pens glide across parchment, tracking vital supplies, soldier wages, and troop movements. Imagine a flurry of letters and reports being penned, relaying strategic updates or requests for reinforcements to far-off commanders. Their work weaves the unseen network that keeps Rome informed and prepared. Then there are the armourers, their hands seasoned by countless hours of polishing and sharpening. It's a meticulous process, restoring damaged equipment to peak condition. The smell of scented oils and iron filings fills their workspace, a stark yet necessary counterpart to the worn leather and clatter you've grown accustomed to. Each evening, camp followers, those civilians who trail the legion offering goods or services, set up their stalls. These individuals provide a semblance of home, hawking delicacies, simple comforts and necessities to soldiers eager to spend a fraction of their pay, whether it's an aromatic cup of garum-infused broth or an embroidered token to send back home. Their presence injects a touch of the mundane into the martial life. Historians still argue whether these auxiliary roles formed a backbone essential to the legion's overall success, or merely served as auxiliary support, especially when analysing their impact on long campaigns and unforeseen challenges. What remains indisputable is that the efficiency and morale of the Roman legions found sustenance in their presence. In this array of roles, there's a story of empathy and adaptability, where non-combatants serve with quiet resilience. These roles remind you that soldiering is not merely about swordsmanship, but embraces the communal spirit that empowers the legion. And in truth, while tales of valour on the battlefield capture imaginations, it's the hum of daily chores, healing, crafting, calculating, that gives structure to the soldier's world. A touch of whimsy finds its way through legends of scribes using ancient Roman shorthand, Turonian notes, as you visualize the fluid dance of their quills darting across parchment with startling speed, capturing the rhythm of command. As the camp ventures into the realm of evening shadows once more, the collective endeavours of the support staff culminate in the ease with which the soldiers settle into their routines. The company of these unsung roles fosters a robust environment where preparation and recovery flow seamlessly from one day to the next. Under tonight's starry quilt, take time to honour the invisible scaffolding that allows you to dream peacefully. For even though the whispers of future conquests echo distant, tonight, beneath the quiet strength of an unyielding Roman structure, you're cradled by every hand's touch, medic, clerk, or cook that fortifies this mighty legion. Embrace the sweeping lullaby of camaraderie, knowing that it's not solely steel and valour that propels Rome, but the unseen, steadfast hands ensuring that legions endure and thrive. As the Roman encampment awakens to another day's pulse, a quieter yet equally critical facet of legion life beckons from the shadows: diplomacy and espionage. These strategic arts, masked in nuance and couched in secrecy, are pivotal to the empire's success and expansion. While battlefields often define the victories, the unseen world of political maneuvers and covert operations secures the upper hand before the first sword is drawn. Imagine the subtle tension as elite envoys exit the camp in the early morning mist, fates tethered to their words and gestures as they prepare to parley with neighbouring tribes or entreat with rival states. Diplomacy in the Roman era is an intricate ballet. Roman ambassadors or legati skilled in the arts of negotiation carry with them the weight of Rome's authority, as well as gifts, sympathetic sweeteners in the form of precious metals or exotic goods, designed to open dialogues with foreign leaders. Accompanying them might be interpreters adept at navigating linguistic divides, ensuring that Rome's intent, the olive branch or the veiled threat, lands as intended. These interpreters, many of whom are themselves soldiers or local hires, bridge more than language. They traverse cultural gaps, sometimes engaging in games or shared meals as part of building rapport, their lively exchanges veiling the taut string of diplomacy. Back within the boundaries of the camp, Another group works under even deeper cover. Spies and informants, cunning operatives scattered throughout foreign lands, send vital scraps of intelligence back to Rome. Information shines as the most valuable currency. It forecasts enemy movements, uncovers deceit, and occasionally facilitates sabotage. The role of spies is steeped in a peculiar mix of loyalty and cunning. Always double agents, the propaganda tangled amid their cloaks blurs the line between ally and foe. Success often means sowing doubt, with misleading intelligence that might delay enemy strategies or suggest alliances that never existed. Whispered exchanges in dim corners are their battles, waged with equal parts bravado and secrecy. Historians still debate the full extent and efficacy of Roman espionage systems, pondering whether their intelligence operations truly steered the course of significant battles, or merely augmented more overt forms of power. Nonetheless, the consensus underscores that the legion's commanders reaped valuable insights, shaping tactical decisions and altering the flow of conflict through whispers as much as through swords. Occasionally, peculiar tales emerge from this shadowy realm. There are legends of messages hidden within hollowed-out fruits, couriers speeding along hidden paths, a network of secrets that parallels the roads constructed by more mundane means. Interlaced throughout are whispers of signal fires flaring along coastlines, or messenger pigeons spiraling skyward. Each method both abstract simplicity and monumental importance. Despite the typical detachment of the diplomat or spy, there are moments when cultural exchanges engender genuine admiration and respect, opening channels to knowledge and ideas that enrich the Roman world. It's through these exchanges that Roman architecture or medical advancements, gleaned from the Greeks or the Egyptians, blossoms further, seeding the fields of future innovation. As evening tints the sky, casting lengthening shadows across the intricately constructed camp, you might find yourself reflecting on these hidden narratives, contemplating how many unseen currents shape the empire's path. In this great game of shadows, your strength isn't merely measured by your physical might, but by your ability to navigate the web of human emotions and intentions laid bare by these agents of change. As the day folds into night, and the muffled stirrings around you hush for rest, the mind drifts on winds of intrigue, carried under the cover of darkness to lands unseen and faces unknown. Wrapped in the comforts of familiarity, you ponder how tomorrow's threats or trials might be softened by a word in the right ear or a silent step in forgotten halls. Tonight, remember that though battles may welcome the dawn with roars, much precedes them. Silent negotiations and subtle arts that keep allies at peace and adversaries at bay. Let the embrace of tranquil slumber cradle these thoughts, embracing the mystery of Rome's multifaceted power, as strong in shadow as it is in light, ever ready to tilt the scales in favour of the eternal city. As the Roman camp begins to stir in the dew-laden morning, today holds a unique sense of unease. You're on the brink of experiencing the intense demands of siege warfare. Siege warfare isn't just about brute force. It's a grueling endurance test that stretches every ounce of strategy, patience, and will. Siege campaigns place Roman soldiers in an environment where the usual rhythms of combat grind to a standstill, morphing into a waiting game punctuated by bursts of frantic action. Visualize the scene, unfolding as you march toward an imposing fortress, its silhouette cut starkly against a backdrop of looming clouds. Your mission is clear. Breach these defences, which stand as barriers to Roman expansion. The prospect brings with it both a surge of adrenaline and a pressing anxiety, knowing that this will not be a swift confrontation, but a drawn-out contest between siegecraft and stone. The siege begins with preparation, profound in its complexity. Engineers and pioneers first assess the castle or city fortifications, considering the landscape's nuances to determine the optimal placement for camps, siege engines, and resource lines. Each decision becomes critical, paving the way for what could be days, weeks, or even months of entrenchment. As the days progress, life settles into a tense routine. Your role may involve constructing and deploying siege engines, such as the fearsome battering ram designed to smash through gates, or the formidable siege tower engineered to scale walls. Each piece of machinery, once assembled under the cover of engineer-driven innovation, is a testament to Roman persistence and ingenuity. Through the labyrinthine maze of the camp, you find yourself engaged in the heart of the action, from shoring up defensive lines against sorties to digging trenches, maintaining supply routes or gathering weapons payloads for the next stage, every effort is directed toward tightening the grip around the besieged. Yet the waiting bears its weight. Soldiers engage in tasks that often seem mundane or repetitive, fueling fires for cooking or maintaining equipment, while shadows from the walls beyond inch ever closer. The sense of isolation from the wider world heightens, and tempers occasionally flare under the pressures of salt air and unyielding tension. Memory serves as an ally. Stories pass to crackle like campfires amid the grass. Myths woven into the silence tales of bravery and cunning that hint at both past success and sobering failure. Among these, a favourite anecdote about a legion that convinced defenders of supernatural intervention to win a clash without lifting a blade, an illustration of mental warfare wielded alongside physical might. Historians still debate the efficacy and ethics of various Roman siege tactics. Were they calculated strategies or ruthlessly opportunistic? The moral dimension remains a contested academic battleground, as vivid as any historical siege's physical one. In the quieter moments, you might glimpse periphery figures, some recording events, others facing moral quandaries as they make decisions about local inhabitants. There are stories of parley, rare negotiations where conditions for surrender might be etched out, a psychological counterpoint to the physical siege. On the eve of a breakthrough, anticipation pervades every action, the artillery fire growing more concentrated, buckling the walls as momentum shifts irreversibly. The eventual breach, whether through battering ram or coordinated climb up ladders, marks the cruel release of tension, an explosion of pent-up energy, and then the bittersweet aftermath. As gate defences crumble, troops surge forward in a cacophony of physical force, collapsing the psychological fortress as significantly as the stone barriers. Liberation for Roman forces couples with the subdued resignation of defenders, realizing their role in the empire's greater narrative shifts. With nightfall consuming the remnants of battle, life wins over the void. While some, with relief, extinguish battle's fury in the form of fellowship and shared drink, others reconcile themselves to rebuilding, even in the midst of tumultuous victory. Exhaling the levy of weight in this cosmic contest, you're left with a pensive understanding siege warfare is as much about endurance, adaptability, and mental resilience as it is about tactical supremacy. For every tower razed or wall breached, there's a heartbeat sustained by those who endured its strain. So, tonight, let your weary muscles relax, and as the echoes of the day's siege reverberate against the cloak of night, slip into sleep. Let it take you on gentle wings far from cries or walls, drifting into the soothing realms of dreams and rest, cradled by the legion's enduring spirit. As the first light of dawn spreads through the Roman camp, the soldiers awaken to a day that promises both the routine and the extraordinary. In this world of rigid discipline and constant preparedness, the spiritual lives of Roman soldiers emerge as a fascinating chapter, where religion and superstition intertwine to offer solace, guidance, and perhaps a touch of hope beyond the tangible realm. Imagine rubbing the sleep from your eyes and stepping out of your tent, the morning air crisp with potential. In a corner of the camp, a small makeshift altar smokes softly, its incense curling skyward in tribute to Mars, god of war, a constant presence in the life of a soldier. Here, you and your comrades may gather for a ritual offered in hopes of securing divine favour before marching into the uncertainties of battle. These morning dedications form an integral tapestry in the broader fabric of Roman religion, a rich pantheon where gods and goddesses fill every niche of daily life. From Jupiter's lofty wisdom to Minerva's tactical cunning, divine influence permeates decisions, actions, and the unseen calculations that balance the scales of fate. Soldiers carry amulets or offer whispered prayers, not out of mere habit, but as stitches to a tapestry that holds the universe together in a harmonious weave. Beyond the revered deities, the whispers of superstition thread themselves through the day. Romans are astute observers of omens and portents, interpreting natural phenomena or the behaviour of animals as celestial messages. Imagine scanning the sky for the particular flight path of a flock of birds, or instinctively knowing to avoid starting a march on days plagued by ill omens. Such beliefs provide a comforting narrative for the uncertainties and chaos of war. Historians still debate whether these practices held sway over military decisions, or whether they provided a psychological anchor in an unpredictable world. While the focus remains predominantly on Mars and Victoria, the personal faith of soldiers often found space for incorporating local beliefs and practices. a testament to Roman adaptability and inclusivity. Consider the rituals intertwined with everyday activities like the anointing of weapons, seen as not just practical maintenance but acts of devotion predicting divine blessings in battle. Or washing hands before meals as a purification ritual, reinforcing the idea that hygiene and spirituality sustain both body and soul. As you navigate through the camp, stories from comrades hint at moments where divine intervention seemed unmistakable, perhaps a sudden storm turning the tide of battle, or a crucial decision resulting from a seemingly random vision or dream. These narratives, passed under veil of night, imbue life with a layered depth where every action, every outcome might echo with divine meaning. Among the curiosities lies the practice of sacred chickens. When contemplating significant decisions, soothsayers might observe the birds pecking as a divination form. Historians recount the tale of a consul who ignored unfavorable omens given by the chickens, and his resulting naval defeat punctuated the cultural belief in divine signs. Yet amidst these grand narratives of gods and cosmic plans are quieter, personal practices. Soldiers might pen personal prayers or construct simple shrines where cherished deities from home share space with Roman ones, reflecting the fluidity with which personal faith interweaves within the structured milieu of Roman religion. As the sun sets, casting a warm glow over the camp, it's an opportunity for reflection and gratitude. The soldiers gather for evening rituals or simply quiet moments of solitude, opening channels of hope that their journey will find favour with the divine. And so, as night blankets the camp and you find sanctuary within the familiar fold of your bedroll, you ponder how faith powers unseen engines as much as any physical prowess. Within every prayer uttered, charm worn, or blessing sought, dwells a profound testament to human resilience and the search for order among the chaotic rhythms of life. As sleep beckons, you feel enveloped in the serene presence of the gods, the celestial guardians pacing silently among men, their watchful gaze hinting at protection without overbearing certainty. This spiritual embrace sends you gently adrift into dreams where the divine and the earthly merge, weaving patterns that grant peace, strength, and solace for whatever paths tomorrow might reveal. As the Roman camp awakens to the usual bustle of activity, today brings a momentary departure from the strategic and the sombre. We delve into the recreation and entertainment that pepper the lives of Roman soldiers. In a setting laced with constant vigilance, these diversions provide essential relief and foster a sense of community that binds the legion together through the stresses of military life. Picture soldiers gathered in small clusters, laughter punctuating the morning air as stories of past encounters are exchanged. Roman soldiers are renowned not only for their discipline, but also for their ability to find joy and leisure amid the rigours of camp life. Recreation isn't a mere indulgence, it is a vital balm against the omnipresent spectre of war. One popular pastime that finds its way into the hearts of soldiers is dice games, a simple yet thrilling diversion that brings a sense of camaraderie and competition. Gathered around makeshift tables, soldiers roll dice fashioned from bone or ivory, bets made in sestertii or captured trinkets. As the dice clatter and laughter rings out, it's easy to momentarily forget the looming challenges, allowing the game's thrill to sweep concerns aside. Another beloved leisure activity is gladiatorial combat, with mock versions often staged in the camp itself. Picture the makeshift arena where soldiers, inspired by the grand spectacles of Rome's amphitheatres, recreate the drama with boisterous enthusiasm. These displays are not mere reenactments, they celebrate martial skill and bravado, aspects that the Legion deeply admires. For those inclined toward quieter pursuits, reading and writing offer solace. Roman soldiers often exchange letters with loved ones or record personal thoughts to capture their experiences. With no smartphones or emails, the written word carries immense power, transforming simple parchment into cherished connections to the world beyond the Legion. The anointed ludi, or games, provide festival-like intervals where soldiers enjoy group competitions, wrestling matches, foot races, or even mock battles that foster pride and unity. These events, often orchestrated on rest days or during downtime between campaigns, create an atmosphere that reinvigorates spirit and fortifies bonds among the men. And let's not forget music and poetry, essential threads in this richly woven life. Soldiers fashion simple flutes or replicate the melodies of their homeland, their notes mingling with the campfire's crackle. Poets too find their corner, where verses penned by firelight might recount victories or musings upon the stars, intertwining the past, present, and wished-for futures in lyrical elegance. Within these various diversions lies the heart of the Legion's spirit, their antidotes to weariness, ways to galvanize morale, crucial to sustaining the mental resilience needed on long campaigns stretching over harsh terrains. Historians still debate the extent to which these recreational activities reflected broader Roman society or were uniquely adapted to camp life. Perhaps it was both. An adaptive integration that nourished each soldier while maintaining connectivity to the Empire's cultural heart. Quirky tales surface, like games played using pigs as pawns, a testament to Roman inventiveness even in games. The sight of trained animals performing on cue brings boisterous laughter to otherwise serious days, profoundly bridging harmony between stern duty and shared delight. As evening settles, with laughter lilting amidst the embers, these celebrations ease tensions, paving the way for restful dreams. Tales around the fire become stories passed down over generations, ensuring that even in their quietest moments, soldiers are never far from Rome's captivating grip. Tonight, let your heart find solace in the music of camaraderie shared, whether pondering a daring gamble's near miss or basking in gladiatorial performance. Allow these joys to anchor you in the rich tapestry of camp life, where heritage and humanity waltz hand in hand. Drifting into sleep, your mind dances through landscapes colored by both memory and myth tone. Your rest soothed by the melodies and laughter-filled echoes of a camp alive with shared endeavors and cherished remembrances. Find peace in this comfort, a timeless balm against the backdrop of endless campaigns and unwavering duty. As the sun gently rouses the Roman camp from its slumber, today we delve into one of the most profound aspects of Legion life: the relationships and brotherhood forged amidst the trials of military service. In a world where loyalty and tenacity define daily existence, the bonds developed with your comrades become as essential as the armor you wear or the sword you wield. Picture yourself waking up to the familiar sight of your contubernium, the small group of 8 soldiers with whom you share your tent, meals, and day-to-day responsibilities. These men are more than fellow soldiers, they are your second family. Through shared experiences, a deep sense of camaraderie grows, creating connections that rival kinship in their intensity and significance. This brotherhood is born from shared adversities, from enduring grueling marches beneath a relentless sun to standing shoulder to shoulder in the heat of battle. Each challenge faced together forges an unbreakable chain of solidarity. You learn to rely on one another for support, be it a word of encouragement when spirits wane or a steadying hand in the chaos of combat. The bonds are cemented through rituals and rites that transcend mere duty. Returning from a successful campaign, celebrations ensue in which victory is shared not just in spoils but in a profound sense of collective achievement. Wine flows and laughter rises, each cheer a testament to the unity and trust that has been painstakingly built. Familiar routines sustain the heart of this brotherhood. Each shared meal, each night watch sees your lives become intertwined, where conversations drift from tactical plans to dreams of home or whispered fears. These moments offer respite from the world beyond, nurturing a collective sense of identity only comprehensible to those who tread the same path. In time, this bond becomes its own strategy. The feeling of watching your comrades' backs extends into the battlefield, where synchronized movements and communications unfold instinctively, a testament to the unspoken language developed through countless drills and trials. Historians still argue whether these tight-knit groups contributed more to a legion's success than individual prowess, suggesting that it was perhaps this unwavering support system that granted Rome its formidable reputation. The shared mental resilience among soldiers might sway battles even before the first charge. Quirky stories have become legends among soldiers, like the tale of a legion that faced overwhelming odds, sustained by a single soldier's offhand phrase that rallied them into the fight with renewed vigor, testament to the power of words among brothers. This camaraderie offers more than just strength. In moments of hardship, even the simplest gestures, a shared loaf, a consoling hand, become profound acts of empathy. These small kindnesses imbue life with a sense of humanity amidst the harsh realities of soldiering. The campfire acts as a cornerstone for these bonds. Picture evenings around the fire, conversations swirling with tales and teasing, a gentle haze weaving comfort around every soul. True friendships transcend backgrounds, forming links from Rome to the empire's farthest edges, across languages and cultures, amid the spirit of mutual respect and shared goals. Under the vast expanse of stars, you ponder the enduring connections forged here in this transient world. The shared laughter and losses, the victories and defeats, bind you with psychic steel, becoming stories told to youthful recruits or murmured to sons many years hence. So, as night folds you into its gentle embrace once more, clutch the memories of moments when Brotherhood shone brightest, sketching warmth through the cold contours of transient life. Let dreams play host to your camaraderie's echoes, a reassuring lullaby promising, no matter the morrow's tale, you are never alone in this journey. Rest deeply in the knowledge that through the pages of history these bonds endure, etched in Roman memory, immortal in the enduring spirit of soldiers. Let sleep claim you beneath the protective mantle of Brotherhood, carrying you through the ages with whispers of laughter, unity, and the unbreakable bonds of men. As dawn's first light streaks across the Roman encampment, your senses start sharpening, instinctively preparing for the realities that battle days bring. Today, we delve into the terrifying experiences of battle, a whirlwind of chaos and courage, where each heartbeat is amplified and every action could tip the scales of fate. Step onto the battleground, a mosaic of clashing steel and shouting men, where tension simmers in the air, thick as the dust kicked up by thousands of feet. The anticipation feels electric as adrenaline courses through your veins, heightening every sensation. You're more aware of the world than ever before, the smell of earth trod by boots, the creaking of leather, and the gleam of sunlight off armor. The stage is set, formations locked into place, each face around you a mirror of focus and determination. With the call from the commanding centurion, the world suddenly narrows, sharpening focus onto this moment. Your training takes over, muscles responding instinctively to signals honed through relentless practice. A cacophony erupts, shouts mixing with the clangs of weapons. As you advance, the improvised music of war fills your ears, a symphony of chaos. Amidst this, your sight hones in on the immediate, the shield to your left, the slicing arc of a sword on your right. A choreographed dance where rhythm separates survival from demise. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's action in its face. Fear grips you, but an unyielding resolve fuels your fight. It's as though every nerve vibrates in tune with an ancient force, a blend of survival and defiance against the churning sea of enemies that press upon your formation. But war is unpredictable, and moments arise where the tide seems unbearable. There might be instances where compromise lines falter under pressure, times when a companion falls and the reality of loss stabs as sharply as any blade. Instinct kicks in, reinforcing those around you, ensuring the breach does not unravel your position. In these moments, leadership emerges spontaneously, sometimes from unexpected sources. A soldier might rally with nothing more than a loud call or a gesture, embodying the spirit of the legion and drawing strength from the common purpose shared by all. The battlefields of history often turn on such acts, great and small. Historians still argue whether the Roman emphasis on tight-knit formation or their tactical flexibility defined their battlefield success. It's perhaps both, the steadying presence of comrades in those fear-laden moments, as much a weapon against chaos as any sword or spear. Sometimes, quirky incidents dot the tapestry of battle. Stories survive of a howling wind that confused attackers into retreat, or a soldier inadvertently finding heroism through humorous mistakes. Tales that paint the randomness of combat with strokes of humanity. On the battlefield, as time blurs, your awareness condenses into vivid flashes. A clash here, a glance there, a shared look of understanding with a fellow soldier across a tumultuous ground. Friend or foe, Roman or barbarian, at this moment, all are equal players in war's theatre, striving, surviving, stronger together than apart. The inexorable rhythm eventually shifts, whether by strategic gain or a clear victory, marking the moment when the battlefield begins to settle. Heart slow, the adrenaline ebbs, replaced by exhaustion's heavy blanket draping over body and spirit alike. As the sun dips beneath the horizon, painting the sky in hues of victory and loss, camp gathers around you once more. In this aftermath, amidst quiet murmurs of gratitude and reflection, you draw solace in the simple actions that follow, tending to bruises, sharing a meal, contemplating more than words can express. As night descends, you think back over the day. on the unity that sustains, the courage extracted from fear's clutches, and the relentless force of will that shone through the chaos. You realize that, though the terrors of the battle are unparalleled, so too are the bonds they forge and the profound appreciation for life they restore. Allow sleep to embrace you like a balm, soothing frayed nerves and weary muscles. Let dreams paint with gentle strokes, reclaiming peace from the echoes of clashing swords and warrior cries. Beneath the stars, under the protective watch of the gods, find rest in knowing that together, your legion walks undaunted through time, forever etched into the annals of history. As the Roman camp stirs awake beneath the burgeoning light of a new day, today provides a glimpse into the versatile roles of the cavalry and auxiliary forces, whose presence augments the Roman legion with flexibility and local expertise. These troops, while different from the traditional Roman legionary, are crucial cogs in the empire's military machine. Picture yourself brushing the dust from the flanks of a mount, sleek and taut with energy. Standing alongside your equestrian comrades, you prepare to join the ranks of the Roman cavalry, a unit valued for its swiftness and tactical acumen. These horsemen, skillful both in mobility and in devising strategic advances, serve as the empire's flexible response team, capable of sudden attacks, harrying flank maneuvers and rapid retreats. The cavalry operates with unique tactics. Imagine the exhilaration as you ride in a thundering line, the earth trembling under your passage. The fresh air whips against your face as you become both participant in and witness to extraordinary acts of daring, diving into skirmishes with a speed and surprise that are as frightening as they are effective. Horses snort and nostrils flare, living extensions of your will in the surging tide of battle. Also part of Rome's versatile forces are the auxilia, troops enlisted from the vast swaths of conquered territories, bringing a breadth of knowledge and local skill to the legion. These soldiers often serve in roles that utilize their regional expertise, whether as slingers from the Balearic Islands famed for their precision, or archers from Crete known for their uncanny accuracy. Their diversity acts as a force multiplier within the legion, strengthening it with a wide array of capabilities. There is a rhythm to the diversity of cultures and techniques within the auxilia, each vibrant in its own right. The integration of regional tactics imparts a unique flavor to battle formations, allowing the legions to adapt rapidly to different environments. From the dense Germanic forests to the sun-bleached deserts of Parthia, the interaction between legionaries and auxiliaries adds layers to camp life, with shared stories bridging language barriers, as soldiers reveal the quirks and wisdom of their homelands. Each culture contributes to a rich tapestry of shared experiences, the melting pot of humanity encamped together beneath the Roman standard. Historians still debate the full impact of auxiliaries. Were they harbingers of strategic adaptation, or did their presence pose challenges to the unity of Roman forces? Their contributions, ranging from pragmatic skills to fresh manpower, certainly enriched Rome's military capacity, allowing it to sustain campaigns against diverse foes. Through humor and shared hardship, bonds strengthen. Imagine a legionary teaching a Cretan archer to wield a pilum, or a mounted auxiliary demonstrating equestrian combat maneuvers. These exchanges deepen mutual respect, nurturing camaraderie in the kaleidoscope of legion life. Then there are the tales legends of a single cavalry charge routing enemy ranks, or a band of auxiliary slingers turning the tide of battle with pinpoint volleys. Such stories capture the imagination, highlighting the interplay of skill, courage, and ingenuity flourishing within Rome's military mosaic. Beyond the battlefields, the auxiliary units enjoy unique benefits. Upon completing years of service, auxiliaries are often granted Roman citizenship, along with land, providing a tangible reward for their contributions and fostering loyalty to the empire. This promise not only bolsters morale, but also symbolizes Rome's strategy of integration and expansion, reflecting the empire's ability to absorb and elevate diverse peoples into its fold. As twilight infuses the sky with warm hues and the day's long march of duties winds down, a quiet affirmation settles over the camp. The array of accents intermingling around the fire, the soft lull of voices, unite into a tableau of unity forged from difference, of strength realized in collaboration. And so, as the night closes, and stars pepper the evening canvas, you seek rest with the reassuring hum of coalesced cultures around you. Drift into sleep wrapped in the serenity offered by the camp's collective heart, a living testament to unity and diversity. Tonight, let your dreams reflect the vibrant parade of lives and skills, the spirited cavalry, the resourceful auxiliaries eke element, vital and intertwined in Rome's unyielding spectrum, marching ever onward through the annals of history. In this melting pot of warriors, find peace, knowing tomorrow brings another chance to weave your own thread into the enduring fabric of the legion's formidable legacy. As morning breaks and the Roman camp awakens beneath the soft rustle of the standard fluttering in the breeze, today we face the stark realities of dealing with defeat and victory. Despite the meticulous strategies and steadfast discipline of Rome's legions, the outcomes of battle remain unpredictable, manifesting in both joyous triumphs and crushing setbacks. Imagine the exhilaration of victory. Your legion advancing through a recently conquered land, greeted by grateful allies or wary enemies. The air is thick with the scent of celebration, mingled with the dust and sweat of hard-won success. The triumph is not merely in the battlefield victory, but in a campaign concluded favourably for Rome. Each victory reverberates beyond soldiers, affecting Rome's position in the world and reinforcing its formidable reputation. In victory, the spoils are shared, not only material riches but honour and camaraderie. Soldiers exchange tales over shared wineskins, reliving the decisive moments where chaos turned to order under their deft moves. Promotions and accolades flow, as do thoughtful gifts to deities believed to have favoured Roman arms. A vivid sense of collective achievement infuses the camp with buoyant energy. However, victories can bear a weight of their own. The aftermath demands control and management, decisions regarding prisoners or newly acquired territories, all pivotal to securing peace and stability. Successful engagements might mask strategic blunders or foreshadow unforeseen consequences, hinting at challenges yet to come. Rome's leaders must balance triumph with foresight, ensuring that victories do not sour with complacency. Picture the anguish as news of a lost battle ripples through the ranks. Shoulders slump and the camp envelops in sombre reflection. A legion's defeat doesn't merely darken the day, it risks tarnishing Rome's hard-worn prestige. In the wake of loss, Rome's resilience emerges a central tenet. Assessment and accountability follow, learning from mistakes, like examining tactical deviations or understanding a foe's prowess. Morale might dip, but the unity forged in adversity often defines the legion's strength, endeavouring to rise from defeat stronger and more prepared. In such times, a sense of brotherhood acts as an anchor. Soldiers lean on one another, finding solace in collective experience, each encouraging word a step toward rekindling resolve and readiness for future engagements. It is through these connections that the Roman soldier finds the fortitude to counterbalance despair and elevate resilience. Historians still ponder the psychological impacts on soldiers facing defeat, reflecting on the balance between pride and perseverance in Roman doctrine. Rome boasts myriad tales of both glory reclaimed from loss and regions that slipped through imperial fingers, a testament to the dynamic nature of history itself. Among tales of defeat, stories arise of remarkable courage and clever retreats that preserve life and honour. Sometimes determination in adversity reveals the deepest wells of leadership, where even in defeat future victories are seeded through hard-earned lessons. A curious anecdote tells of soldiers, to bolster spirits, crafting new training songs from stories of defeat, invoking humour and irony to transform disappointment into resilience. It's one of the countless ways Rome's spirit swells undeterred, transcending immediate conditions to focus again on destiny's grand arc. As evening lies gentle shadows across the terrain and the camp slows to the rhythm of night, you consider what's been shared. Lessons from victories and defeats simmer in the collective memory, directing the legion's path like constellations guiding mariners. So tonight, lie beneath the vast sky, stars weaving stories overhead. Let the quiet echoes of victory's fervour and the lessons from defeat turn within you. Rest in resolve's embrace, ready for whatever the morrow holds. Each triumph and setback contributes to a greater journey, resounding through Rome's relentless pursuit of command and legacy. Sleep deeply, finding peace in the knowledge that every dawn offers new opportunities to conquer both external foes and the challenges within. Paving Rome's grand narrative, with resolve woven in victory and wisdom forged in defeat, tomorrow awaits your renewed strength, armament refined not just by swords, but by resilience and unity. As the camp stirs under the embrace of a new day, today we journey with those Roman soldiers who face the poignant transition from active service to veteran status. Here, we explore the complexities of life post-service, the honours and struggles that accompany their return to civilian life, and how these warriors reintegrate into a world they left behind. Picture standing at the edge of the Legion. You're adorned with the trappings of battle-won admiration, your proud service underscored by the weight of medals and commendations. The culmination of years dedicated to serving Rome is recognised in rituals that honour your contributions. The Missio Honesta, a respectable discharge granting an end to martial obligations. Life as a veteran offers tangible rewards, testament to the Empire's appreciation for years of service. Land grants pave the way for a new beginning, patches of earth that hold the promise of stability. These plots often lie along the frontiers, where transformation is necessary to cement Roman influence in newly conquered regions, further expanding the Empire's reach through civilians turned settlers. The transition, however, isn't without its trials. After years in the disciplined folds of the Legion, adjusting to civilian life poses unique challenges. The once constant rhythm of the Legion's march and the clear directives of military command give way to quieter, more ambiguous pursuits. Soldiers accustomed to the collective identity of the Legion now navigate individual roles in society. Veterans often find themselves drawn to public service or local leadership, utilizing the skills honed through years of military experience to benefit their communities. Some assume influential roles, leveraging the prestige of their service to advocate for stability and growth in their appointed regions. Their stories enrich the cultural tapestry of their new homes, bridging the worlds of soldier and civilian. Historians still debate the impact of veteran settlements on Roman culture and expansion. Did these enclaves maintain Roman traditions, or did they evolve into distinct blends of local and Roman customs over time? The settlements undoubtedly bid new dynamics to Rome's identity, reshaping regional landscapes and intertwining diverse cultures. For some veterans, reintegration carries difficulties. Images and memories from campaigns linger, shadows of experiences that challenge their newfound peace. Nightmares and loneliness can reflect battles won, yet also battles ongoing within the psyche. Yet veterans often find solace among their peers, sharing burdens and laughter steeped in understanding. The Army's promise of citizenship, a testament to loyalty and brave ushers in new societal roles. Many veterans relish this privilege, contributing actively to Rome's civil and political life. For others, citizenship is a chance to reconnect with distant family roots, fulfilling dreams deferred in the service of duty. Among veterans' stories, quirky tales emerge, adventures of soldiers settling their new lands, tamed only below the horizon's edge. These narratives often mix humour and courage, where everyday challenges become feats of saga-like importance, entwining legacy with territory claimed. At the day's close, as shadows lengthen into the realms of things remembered, the camp gathers in tribute to those who transition from warriors to keepers of peace. The air vibrates with the echo of gratitude and promise. The voices of those who have held Rome aloft on their shoulders, now passed to the next generation. And so, as night enfolds you in its quiet embrace, reflect upon the journey from soldiering paths to paths of peace. Let the final haunting notes of camaraderie linger in memory, a melody whispered through fields of yore, cushioned in dreams of future harvests. Sweep into slumber gently, each heartbeat marking both the end of a chapter and the beginning of another. Cradle the wisdom won through trials, and the joys sprouted from service in the soil of knowing that each step perpetuates Rome's eternal march across time. Dreams tonight are of legacies built, lives shaped, and the scars and songs of soldiers now at rest, weaving their eternal imprints in the fabric of history. Greater than greater than greater than greater. End of script. Sweet dreams. As a new dawn stretches over the Roman camp, the air hums with the anticipation of change and innovation. Today we examine the evolving tactics and strategies of the Roman military, a testament to the Empire's adaptability and thirst for improvement. These shifts are not mere responses to immediate threats, but are reflections of a broader understanding of warfare's evolving nature. Imagine yourself at the center of a bustling pre-deployment. Maps and markers spread before you, denoting territories and tactics. A collection of minds shaped by diverse campaigns and conquests gathers to refine Rome's approach to warfare, adjusting tactics not only to counter emerging threats, but to harness advancements in technology and understanding. The Roman army's strength has always stemmed from its ability to absorb and integrate. In the flux of military thought, doctrines adapt, yet core principles endure. The structure of the legion itself, renowned for its flexibility and cohesion, presents a canvas on which refinements and innovations paint broader strokes toward victory. Consider the testudo and its adaptations, an emblem of Roman resilience. Soldiers now trained to transition seamlessly between formations, a tactic borrowed and improved upon from observing enemies and allies alike. The more compact orb formation becomes essential in encirclements, demonstrating that even well-worn tactics embrace evolution amidst the tides of war. The cavalry, once auxiliary, transitions into more pivotal roles, reflecting Rome's recognition of speed and mobility's increasing importance. Cavalry units now scout, engage in hit-and-run tactics, or pursue fleeing foes, showcasing adaptability in responding to rival innovations and battlefield dynamics. Beyond formations, the application of siege technology evolves, with enhancements in battering rams and siege towers, as well as the incorporation of innovations like the onager and Scorpio, formidable artillery pieces capable of altering the face of sieges and open battles alike. The engineer's creativity refines their efficacy, translating mechanical advantage into decisive results on the field. Historians still wrestle with pinpointing the exact moments these evolutions shifted from concept to broad military doctrine. Was it during distant campaigns where unexpected terrains and foes challenged traditional strategies? Or within the political machinations of Rome, where military minds envisioned such progress? Regardless, these advancements mark a continuum of thought driving Rome ever forward. Then there are the quirky tales of trial and experiment, accounts of rogue inventors within Rome's ranks supposedly crafting eccentric devices, ideas like rotating shield walls or flame-throwing mechanisms, often exaggerated but rooted in the fervor to innovate, add color to the sober tones of documented tactics. But innovation is not without its challenges. As strategies evolve, training adjustments require investment, and veterans acclimated to one style must adapt anew. In the shifting landscape of Roman expansion, some ponder if too swift an evolution risks alienating soldiers from the core of Roman tradition that has long sustained confidence and discipline. Amid the pages of change and adaptation, soldier tales entwine with reminders of ancient virtues. The stalwart heart, the unyielding discipline, and the valor rooted in the egalitarian spirit of the legion. As new strategies paint the horizon, these qualities remain embedded within Rome's martial ethos, reassuring emotional continuity even amidst tactical reinvention. Night folds its embrace upon the camp, dimming the canvas of change until only whispering winds thread the tones of progress. Under starlit reflections, you rest easy in the knowledge that Rome's perpetual adaptability ensures its place upon history's stage, ready to face any challenge with a wealth of innovation. Tonight, let your dreams unfurl across endless fields of opportunity, each strategy and tactic bearing testimony to the Roman legacy of dynamic versatility. Allow the night to cradle you in the gentle assurance of an empire ever willing to learn and evolve. Each dawn, bringing strides that march Rome onward, unerringly shaping the world. In the sleep's sweet lull, find serenity in the cadence of progress, knowing tomorrow promises new horizons and untold possibilities, yet to be discovered, under the vigilant eye of Rome's indomitable spirit. As the sun begins its ascent, casting a golden hue over the Roman camp, today we find ourselves contemplating the mythos of Roman invincibility, a reputation both cultivated and confronted by the legions throughout the ages. The belief in Rome's prowess is woven into the empire's identity, influencing both enemies and allies alike, and serving as a psychological weapon almost as potent as the legions themselves. Imagine the whispered reverence or apprehension spreading ahead of your march, as foreign tribes look to the horizon, where Rome's inexorable advance continues. The aura of invincibility has been carefully constructed over centuries, each victory building upon the last. Yet beneath this mythos resides both truth and law, a duality that renders the Roman reputation complex and multifaceted. This belief in superiority stems from a consistent demonstration of strength, iron-clad legions, strategic ingenuity, and a relentless culture of conquest. Rome's ability to project power across vast territories cements this image. Their efficiency and discipline a marvel compared to fragmented tribal oppositions. The myth is further crafted through vivid displays of military might. Picture triumphal processions back in Rome, where the spoils of victory and captured enemies parade through the streets, reinforcing the empire's formidable image. These spectacles function not only as celebrations, but as potent symbols of power, intended to awe those within and beyond Rome's boundaries. Yet historians debate whether this invincibility is as absolute as its legends suggest. They explore moments when Roman forces faced unexpected defeat or protracted battles requiring intricate diplomacy to resolve. The Battle of Teutoburg Forest is one such example, a stark reminder that even Rome's legions could be overwhelmed by the cunning and tenacity of their foes. In acknowledging these chinks in their armour, Rome's enduring strategy lay in their remarkable resilience and capacity to adapt. Defeats were treated as harsh lessons rather than insurmountable failures. They fueled reflections and reforms that strengthened the military machine. Amusing anecdotes pepper this narrative. Tales of overconfidence, such as a Roman general issuing ultimatums so bold they seemed like comedy, only to face unexpected resistance. These stories underscore the human element within the mighty Roman war engine, a reminder that hubris is a universal adversary. The mythos, however, extends beyond the battlefield. It integrates into cultural perceptions and diplomatic interactions, where assertions of Roman invincibility funnel into the empire's broader narrative, influencing trade agreements, securing treaties, and dissuading potential uprisings. The psychological dominion achieved through this aura of invincibility extends Rome's reach far beyond the physical presence of its soldiers. For the soldiers themselves, this mythos breeds a sense of purpose and belonging. When they march under the Roman eagle, there's a palpable pride in embodying this legacy of invincibility. It becomes a source of courage in the face of overwhelming odds, an intangible armour that guards against despair. As dusk descends, silhouetting your reflections against the fading sky, it's clear that the myth of invincibility is less about perfection and more about Rome's ability to continuously rise, adapt, and persevere. It is a legacy built as much on heart as on might, where each soldier's story contributes to the richer compendium of a myth in motion. And so, under the quiet reign of night, as the camp settles into a symphony of hushed whispers and gentle snores, you allow yourself to slip into dreams painted with Rome's enduring spirit. Here, amid the echoes of victories both won and imagined, find solace in the understanding that Rome's power often lies not just in the reality of its conquests, but in the perpetuity of its legends. Rest with the peace of knowing you are part of a grander story, where invincibility is a mantle passed through generations of warriors. Allow the night to cradle you in its tranquil embrace, secure in the knowledge that, invincible or not, Rome endures as long as its stories are told, its myths remembered, and its people believe. As dawn stretches its fingers once more across the Roman camp, today we delve into the peculiar stories, historical anomalies, and odd accounts that surface from the rich tapestry of Roman military history. These tales, though sometimes overshadowed by grand narratives of conquest, offer intriguing glimpses into the quirks and nuances that colour the legion's storied past. Imagine the camp abuzz with stories that defy the ordinary, a place where the myth meets reality, and the unexpected reveals the lighter or more curious sides of Roman military life. These anecdotes, shared around fires or whispered under tents, not only entertain but also reflect the human dimension of soldiering. One such tale involves the famed vexillum, or standard, of a legion believed to have disappeared during a campaign, only to reappear mysteriously, accompanied by legends of a soldier who threw it into the air, promising the gods he would retrieve it from enemy hands or die trying. Such standards held immense symbolic value, and the lengths soldiers went to recover them speak volumes about the prestige and honour tied to these icons. Then there are the stories of audacious acts that border on the absurd. Picture a soldier once capturing an enemy scout by cooking an extravagant meal to lure him closer, using the aroma as both hospitality and temptation. The mingling of ingenious thinking with resourceful action often presents Rome's soldiers as both practical and creative. Accounts of places like the haunted camps where restless soldiers encountered strange happenings, unexplained noises or ghostly apparitions that spurred deeper pagan rituals or strengthened reliance on omens, add a layer of mystery and intrigue that meshes everyday life with the uncanny. Historians, curious about the interplay between fact and legend, explore whether these stories embellish actual events or serve as morale-boosting fables within the legion. Regardless, these narratives mirror the playful and dynamic spirit thriving amidst disciplined ranks. A whimsical account from northwestern territories speaks of a legion trained to imitate bird calls, a strategy allegedly employed to appear as natural inhabitants while scouting forests. Whether truth or hyperbole, such tales testify to the lengths of innovation and humour that infused military tactics. Additionally, the diversity within Rome's ranks inspired anecdotes celebrating cultural differences. A story from Judean campaigns describes soldiers fumbling comically with local customs during civic celebrations, an expression of naive hilarity blended in the broader scheme of imperial expansion. These stories serve an important function beyond entertainment. They highlight the adaptability and resilience of the Roman military qualities that ensured the legion could contend with unpredictable foes and environments. They reinforce the understanding that alongside calculated strategy and brute strength, Rome's military prowess included the deft art of adaptation and the occasional embrace of the absurd. As the sun descends, these stories, balanced by shadows that soften into evening, foster a sense of continuity and belonging. The tales shared around kindling fires or penned in letters home enrich the legion's cultural heritage, a testament to the human heartbeat that persists even amid the greatness of Rome. So, as night envelops the camp, stars twinkling in shared stories' rhythm, you find a place within this grand narrative. Close your eyes to sleep, soothed by the gentle laughter and knowing smiles of past tales echoing through the cool wind. They paint a picture not only of soldiers, but of a richer narrative tapestry that binds all who serve under the Roman eagle. Let dreams cradle you, filled with echoes of adventure and courage born from the single, shared thread of ingenuity and camaraderie. In this tapestry of history, find solace and drift gently, secure in the knowledge that every thread, every tale adds depth to Rome's enduring cloak, our shared journey through the realms of time and story. As dawn once again unfurls its light across the Roman camp, today we engage with the ongoing debates and historical controversies surrounding the Roman military's legacy. These discussions span centuries, filled with passionate arguments and evolving interpretations, as historians endeavour to understand the true impact and realities of Rome's military prowess. Imagine standing amidst the contrasting opinions that echo through time, each detailing different facets of the legion's methods and moral implications. These debates venture beyond mere tactics, delving into ideological and ethical territories that challenge our understanding of Rome's martial glory. One enduring controversy surrounds the motivations behind Roman military expansion. Was it driven by diplomatic pressures or pure imperium hunger for domination and resources? Some historians argue Rome's aggressive policies were driven by strategic necessity, a protective measure against potential threats, while others depict it as imperialistic ambition, cloaked in the guise of civilization and order. Then there's the debate over the human cost of Rome's military conquests. Accounts vary, with some chroniclers extolling the virtues of Roman peace, the Pax Romana, that brought stability and infrastructure to conquered lands. Yet, others highlight the darker side, where cultural erasure and exploitation left lasting scars. Understanding Rome's dual role as both unifier and oppressor continues to spark fervent conversations about its imperial legacy. Military tactics and innovations also embroil scholarly debate. Some controversies question whether Rome's success stemmed solely from superior tactics and discipline, or if logistical prowess and adaptability played a more significant role. The emphasis on organization, roads, supply lines, fortifications, reflects a sophisticated network extending beyond sheer martial dominance. In discussing Rome's adaptability, historians grapple with the extent to which Rome borrowed from the cultures it conquered versus true innovation. Was the famed Roman shield wall an enhancement of Greek phalanx principles, or did it represent an entirely distinct evolution in combat tactics? This intersection of adoption and innovation illustrates Rome's dynamic nature, driven by necessity and opportunity. Then there are moral and ethical questions, such as the treatment of prisoners or the use of decimation as punishment within the ranks. These practices raise questions about discipline versus cruelty, reflecting broader themes about power and the ethical boundaries of control. There's an ongoing inquiry into whether such methods were strategic outliers or a systemic aspect of enforcing hierarchy within the legion. Historians also argue about Rome's view of itself as a perpetual force of civilization, bound by destiny to expand and civilize. Propaganda and mythos have long shaped Rome's self-image, influencing both internal policy and foreign perception. This legacy draws parallels with modern narratives of empire, prompting reflection on the cyclical nature of history. Affectionate yet critical scrutiny reveals the layers beneath Rome's martial prowess, painting it as both legendary and flawed. Amidst this academic turbulence, one finds atypical yet striking vignettes, stories of Roman soldiers heroically defending against Hannibal's elephants, or crafting makeshift defences under siege, underscoring human ingenuity alongside imperial ambition. As the sun sets on this exploration, each argument, each lens through which historians view Rome, contributes to a mosaic of understanding, a nuanced tapestry blending achievement with consequence. As night envelops the camp, find solace in the notion that history's debates reflect both Rome's complexity and humanity, inseparable from the shadows formed by its imposing dome. Under the quiet canopy of stars, as the camp settles to the whispers of historical contemplation, sleep gently envelops you. Dream tonight not only of past glories, but of the quest for truth, shaped by perpetual inquiry and evolving understanding. Let this journey through history's debates remind you of the intricacies that compose every martial step, every strategic decision, leaving footprints upon the sands of time. Rest in the assurance that the narrative continues, enriched by every question asked and every perspective explored, echoing across epochs, ever challenged, ever alive. As the final dawn breaks over our Roman journey, we turn our gaze to the gentle shadows of history, reflecting upon the enduring echoes of Roman soldiers' lives. In this concluding passage, uttered with tranquility and reverence, we appreciate the whispers of their legacy lingering across centuries, weaving seamlessly into the world we know today. Beneath vast, sprawling skies, imagine the quiet parade of soldiers past, each life a thread in the grand tapestry of Rome. Consider the legionary stories told around the flickering embers of a campfire, their flickering light casting tales of courage, sacrifice, and camaraderie into the darkness, a lasting imprint upon time. In reflecting on this history, one sees not just the bold outlines of battles won or borders expanded, but the intricate patterns formed by daily strides through hardship and triumph. These men, disciplined, resilient, carried the weight of an empire upon their shoulders. Their legacy stretches beyond military achievement, colouring philosophical, legal, and cultural frameworks that persist within modern society. From their adaptive strategies to the deep bonds forged in adversity, the Roman soldier's life remains a testament to human endurance and ingenuity. Their impact is felt not just in the histories penned by Roman chroniclers, but in the roads that still crisscross Europe, in the languages echoing phrases of Latin origin, and the governance systems inspired by Rome's civic constructs. Historians continue to explore these threads of continuity with intrigue and passion. Whether pondering the moral considerations of conquest or the adaptation of Roman innovations, each study adds richness to our collective historical imagination, ensuring these ancient footsteps never fade completely from view. In the fading light, a gentle sense of belonging prevails, a reminder that regardless of the temporal distance, we remain connected through these shared stories, our imaginings bridging past and present with enduring grace. As the camp fades into the soft embrace of twilight, it leaves an indelible mark on the tapestry of history, a promise to remember those who marched under Rome's banner, their legacy imprinted upon every stone, in every unseen shadow of today's landscapes. And so, nestled under a tranquil sky speckled with stars, let your thoughts drift toward gentle recollections fashioned by history's hand. As sleep beckons, draw comfort from the assurance that these ancient journeys continue to accompany us, shaping the world with whispers of courage and wisdom. Now, as the echoes of Roman soldiers' stories slowly dissolve into the night, allow the serene calm to envelop you. The legion's passage into history lulls the heart to rest, cradling your dreams with the delicate whispers of a bygone age. These narratives linger in the quiet spaces between sleep and waking, a testament to the timeless bond between past and present. Surrender to the night's gentle embrace, letting its tempests glide softly by. Under the watchful stars, rest assured that the journey through Rome's martial heart shall hum eternally, guiding our reflections and nurturing our dreams. Greater than, greater than, greater than, greater than. End of script. Sweet dreams.